Hey everyone, and welcome back to Under the Brick. And today I'm going to be covering some upcoming sets from LEGO Despicable Me 4. So these have been a slight long time coming, well, kind of. At the beginning of this month, LEGO did a little April Fool's joke. Or I should say it was more of a big April Fool's joke, because the thing they showed was big. And the joke was that they showed off this big brick-built minion, and along with it they showed off two sets from the upcoming wave of sets. However, LEGO accidentally left something in that spoilt a plot point from the film, and Universal wasn't a big fan of that. Equaling in LEGO having to ask content creators to take their videos down because Universal asked them to, and there's probably an actual legal thing in there and I shouldn't really be discussing it like this. However, a few weeks later, and the official images are now out and we can finally talk about them. So let's jump into these sets and see what all the secrecy was about then. So first up here we have set 75580 Minions and Banana Car. So I take it these are the Minions and this is the Banana Car. I don't know what to think about this set. It's neat enough. I think it's kind of charming. There's not much to say about it really. At the end of the day, it's kind of like a Minion battle pack. That's not going to retail for a battle pack price, but still. You get 4 minions in this set. You get this minion in a suit. You get this minion in a sort of racing outfit with a little hat. You got this big minion who I think is probably one of the mega minions. And then you get this little minion here with the one eye. And that's about it. Besides some side builds that are neat enough. There's this little painting with an easel. There's like this little weapons rack that has a few different accessories. That one seems to be a sort of grapple gun. There's a walkie-talkie and this sort of weird little Inspector Gadget-esque helicopter hat. I think there's also a pair of goggles sitting there as well that the minions can wear. And then you also got the banana car itself. I do like the detailing on it. A lot of interesting sort of chrome silver pieces. The engine block piece is always welcomed in my opinion. There's some neat flames and there's some usual building techniques we've been seeing recently. There's also those interesting hinged bricks with the sort of flat plate and the little pole so then they can be clipped onto something at an angle. And that's always pretty cool seeing that, especially because they've never been in a smaller set that's affordable. I don't know, this set's just kind of fine enough. I don't know if it'll be a day one purchase for me, but I think I'll eventually pick it up. Actually, I'm not really sure if I'm going to be picking up any of these, really. I don't know, though. Maybe I'll be warmed up to these a little bit, by the end of this video. So let's continue on to the next one, then. And that next set is set 75581 Minions Party Bus. Oh, sorry, Minions Music Party Bus. There's a key difference. Sorry. I've heard this might be retailing for 40, though. Well, hopefully, though. Christ. Considering part to piece ratio, this doesn't look too bad. It's a somewhat compact build that opens up. And I do like some of the detailing on it. There's some interesting stickers on the top there. There seems to be some stickers on the little records there. And it's an okay enough build. I do like it. It's another cute build. It's just a bit 40, really, for this little bus. You have 4 more minions in this set. You have a minion here with a hat. A minion here with a party hat. There's 2 minions with party hats is what I'm getting at. And then you have this weird minion here who is probably one of the other mega minions who's in the shape of a rocket. I don't know. Interestingly though, there is this little QR code here and people have already scanned it because you can scan it. And it leads to just a product page for this set and also a stop motion video. I do like seeing a stop motion video, so that is pretty cool. At the same time though, this is just another simple enough set. I think it'll be good enough for kids, and to be honest, there are some interesting colours for pieces in here. Bit of grey, various shades of blue, translucent blue is always nice to see, and even just getting some more minions is nice enough. Interestingly though, they have that new antenna piece from the recent, and I mean recent as in I got my set today, of those new space minifigures of that weird robot man. So that's interesting, they've already got that part in different colours, and I guess that's kind of neat enough. There are some other accessories as well, like this flag, these maracas, a banana, some balloons, and I presume that's a champagne glass, and a guitar, and a little amp. So that's neat enough, I guess. Not sure about this set still, really. So let's move on to the next one.
What the Sigma?
Our next regular set here is set 75583 Minions and Gru's Family Mansion. I don't know where they got to specify the Minions own this place. I feel like this is under Gru's mortgage or something. I don't know why the Minions own this place. Gru owns this place. It's Gru's house. Anyway, this set might be my favourite out of the lot. it's just a really, well, accurate representation of Gru's house, or at least as a facade. There are some side builds with this set, that being these little tree houses off to the side here that are tiki themed. I'm not really sure what this really is. I think this might be in the third movie. I remember something vaguely about tikis, because the Mega Block sets did that. But they're neat enough. There's some interesting little builds on them, like these little lanterns. There's this sort of larger tree trunk piece that I've not really seen before. And some various flowers, and even these little Easter Island head looking guys here. That are pretty neat. There's also a little zip line as well. To the house itself, though, like I said, it's a pretty accurate representation of what Gru's house is. Though LEGO has downsized it just a little bit. They've captured the main sort of front triangle part of it and the two smaller roofs, though they've shrunk it down by quite a bit. But it still kind of captures the spirit of the house. The only thing I would say is, though, stuff like the garage door is a bit shorter than it really is. In the film, it's extremely tall, like the actual house is. And some of the colours are a little bit off. It's just confusing because on the front of the house here, there's a lot of brown. In the film, it's a much darker grey. Or at least it has a bit of a brown tint to it. I'm just sort of confused why it's such an obvious brown colour. Maybe it's just to differentiate the parts when you're building it, but still, it is a little bit weird. I do like the detailing of the piping though, that's a nice touch. Down on the ground though, there are some leaves as well, and that's another nice touch. There's a little letterbox, and there's even a window all the way at the top there with a little minion peeking out. I don't know, that's neat enough, that's a cute little touch I guess. There's some windows on the side as well, and we even get a peek on what's inside the build. Before we go inside though, let's take a look at these minifigures, because I think they're the highlight of the set for some people. First off, we have Gru and his family. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. This is Gru and his family. Him and his adopted children and his wife and his newborn son. That's it. And they're pretty on point. I remember a lot of people saying they wish Gru had like a moulded nose piece. And I'm kind of on the fence about it. Why would they make a specialized mold for one character with a big nose? Oh, Pinocchio. Yeah, I don't know. I think they could have, because it's such a key part of his character. But at the same time though, this figure does work on its own. Next to him is Lucy, who's holding the baby piece in grey. That's cool enough, I guess. I think some people would like that. Then we have the three children, who are, well, kind of on point to what they actually are in the film. Interestingly, though, they don't use any new hair molds or anything, but it's pretty good that they've managed to capture the characters on point well enough. So we've got the Mega Minions here, and I don't know about them, they're kind of weird. As much as they're weird as the other ones that we've just seen. So we have this sort of big minion here who's like a sort of rock guy, I guess. There's a minion here with a Terminator eye. Oh god. And then we have this minion who uses these big stretchy arm pieces. I'm curious to know if they're the same ones that appeared in that Marvel set way back when, or if they're a new mould or not. They do seem sort of new looking. I think it's the edge of the gloves that are giving me that idea. So we move on to the inside of the build. I do really like it. It's got that sort of dollhouse thing LEGO does occasionally with some of their builds. But here it's just more of a mixture of random sort of pieces and areas of the house. But I think it works really well. At the bottom floor here we have some sort of lab set up, various screens and other things. And interestingly, it seems like you can spin around these little parts here. One side has a little bathroom, and it seems to be a weapons rack on the back, while the other side has some more screens and another weapons rack and a water cooler. So that's kind of neat. On the second floor, well, the second floor of the house, there is Gru's little sort of chair, and there's some axes behind it, and a little fireplace as well. I do like it that they tried to capture Gru's weird sort of furniture in the film. I mean, I wasn't expecting a rhino chair and alligator couch, but still, it's a welcomed effort. To the left of that, we have Agnes's little bedroom, and in the film, the girls all had these little bomb beds. And I love it that they tried to actually make one. That's really cool. The build for it is pretty simplistic. It reminds me a little bit of those minecart builds from that old Indiana Jones set. Here though, it's just another really neat little build. I don't know if they could have really fit 3 in, but still, it's a really honourable effort. On the wall there are some interesting little stickered elements that seem to be various pictures and doodles and things. There's even a little rainbow as well. And then in the centre of the build, at the top of the roof, there's this little sort of nook, and it seems to be like in the kitchen. And as well, it captures what's in the film. Above that though, there's interesting this little stickered element that seems to be a family portrait.
Together, we will steal their moon!
And our last set here is set 75582, Brick-Built Gru and Minions. So, what is this exactly? I don't know, when this first got revealed I was a little bit more perplexed by it. Who would really want this? I understand maybe a couple Minions builds styled like Brickheads, but I don't know, this is just a little bit strange. I do admire the building techniques on it though. A lot of snot techniques, some interesting prints, some stickers. It's interesting enough in the way it's built, but it's more, who would want this? This isn't probably going to be one I'm going to buy, but it just looks so strange. And we're not even on to like what it actually looks like. We're just sort of looking at it and analysing it more from a concept level. I do like the Minions builds, and like I said, if they maybe sold one or two of these on their own in a pack together, I could maybe understand that. It's more adding Gru in. I'm not going to say Gru's a bad build. He has some interesting building techniques to him. There's some interesting new prints. There's some interesting little stickers and things, and some even new colours for some existing pieces. But it's just such a strange thing. Focusing on Gru, again, look at his eyes and his mouth and his nose, and the hands and the I don't know, like, this confuses me more than anything. I'm staring at it, and it's beginning to kind of, it's beginning to unsettle me a little bit. I'm looking into his eyes, and it's just I'm only seeing. Nah, sorry for all the theatrics, but yeah, this build is a little bit weird. Interestingly though, it seems like it can spin around due to all the gears on the bottom there. Some of the pieces in this set are neat though. There's that little antler piece in green, there's a little loot there, and the minion eye prints are kind of cool, and that's kind of it. I think some people would at least enjoy those eye prints for Gru, but still, I don't know if it's even the eyes kind of making me feel a bit weird. I think it's just the sort of how accurate it is to Gru. It's so weird how the minifigure, didn't include things like his nose or his height, but here this build kind of went the whole thing and just represent him. I don't know what they were really thinking. Though I think this build will probably have its fans, and it's probably just not for me. But still, it's just a little bit of a weird set. And so those are the 4 Despicable Me 4 sets releasing in 2024. I'm not really sure what to think about all of them. My final kind of ranking for them is obviously the house at the top, maybe followed by the car and the bus and the buildable Gru. I'm not sure if I would really pick these up to the review either. I mean, leave them down below if you'd be interested at least me talking about the house or something, but still, I'm not really sure about these. Obviously, I hope they sell well enough for LEGO to get their money's worth, but still, it's just a bit weird of a theme. Even compared to the original wave of Minion sets we got way back. Now, I do kind of prefer them, still, I do like these builds, as much as I said they were weird and even weirder. I do like these builds. There's some interesting techniques, some interesting new colours for parts, and heck, even buildable Gru is fine enough, I guess. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, maybe comment your thoughts on these sets, and maybe even subscribe. And stick around for some more reviews, maybe some news, and maybe even some mocks. And that's me, under the brick, saying goodbye. So, goodbye.